There we go. There we go. I was trying to get the audio to work. I wasn't sure. I'm gonna be live for a half an hour or so. Good morning. It's actually evening for me here. It's almost 6 p.m. But good morning to you, Jean. Norman says, I've been watching your vids as I wake up from a lifetime of being blind to my spiritual self. And has my videos helped you see yourself in any way, Norman? Thank you, Jean. Thank you. That is so kind of you to say. I have to get used to these lives. I still have to understand how they kind of work, but because I see like a bunch of little features to my right hand side, I'm not really sure what all those things are. But I decided to go live because I wanted to just talk about our child self and how it's important to look within ourselves so that we can step into the best versions of ourselves. Norma says they have, it's reassuring to see someone being so vulnerable. I so I think that the most beautiful thing a person can do is to be fully open about who they are and their pain and their wounds and everything they carry, because it allows you to move past them. And I think that is so important because it allows you to find the confidence within yourself to really be who you are in an authentic way. And I think the world is missing right now is authenticity. That's what's missing. Hi, loving Dean. I'm so happy to see you here. I think it's important to remain childlike in some ways. Yes, it is, especially when like it's nice to keep that part of you, like that child part of you, like to enjoy life, to have laughter like a child, to do things that you would do that when you were a kid, like even if it was like to hopscotch and you feel like hopscotching, why not do it? Like we feel so not allowed to do things because people will be like, oh, that's childlike. Like I still love playing video games. I love playing video games. Um, I love collecting toys and I love watching cartoons. I still do things that I always liked, but we get kind of labeled like, oh, you're not an adult, you're so childish. Oh, you have a phone cover that is like a Disney phone cover. I had an like one of my exes years ago, I had a Minnie Mouse phone cover and he judged me and criticized me over my cover, over my phone cover, and told me that I was a child. And I was like, these little things make me happy, like how does that bother you? But we get criticized all the time for being childlike. And I think that our childlike gives us so much more, like it gives life more light and hope and keeps us more true to who we are. Aside from having to deal with being the mature adult navigating the world, you should also keep your child part of you alive too, because it's what makes life more fun. Being a child, when you were a child, I'm pretty sure we all experienced our imagination and creativity, and we would daydream and imagine all these beautiful things we would do. And it was so much more fun than not being able to imagine or create anything because we're so stuck in our pain. So, like, let me go through here. Can you do? Okay. You're the light. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. You are so welcome. Crop. Hi, Tom. How are you doing today? I am reading through the comments, so give me 1 second. When you say the world lacks authenticity, you project it from yourself. What makes people unique is their own mistakes and flaws. Exactly. I think there is nothing wrong with you being yourself with mistakes and all, but there is this idea where you have to be like so perfect and everything has to be like the perfect background, the perfect face, the perfect teeth, the perfect hair, the perfect I don't know. Everything has to be so perfect, and there's no such thing as perfection because we're not perfect at all. We have so many flaws and so many things that we navigate in life, and so many of us pretend that we don't. Like, we mask ourselves to pretend that we have a perfect life when we are so far from it. And I think your authenticity is your superpower. I always say this. See, however, being vulnerable is quick for a lover interest to lose interest in you, is said, especially in the early stages. Susie, I love your eyes. Thank you, Jerry. Alice says, I miss you so much. Yes, I am, damn. Thank you for those of you who are calling me beautiful. Hi, Mike. Please show me the tattoo on your body, please. Please show me. So yeah, I think that we are in a very beautiful moment in time where we are allowed to, where we have to open space to be ourselves. Thank you, Bobby. I love my tattoos too. My inner child needs a hug and told everything will be all right. Yeah, and that's something that I have been doing. Um, because I always see myself when I feel a certain way about a situation or I realize the disconnect. The child me is the one that comes up and shows up and is the one that reacts because it's a child in me that reacts, and I'm learning how to show her that it's okay, that there's no need to be reactive. There's no way, like it's safe because I'm here now. Thank you, Jerry. But yeah, we need to be more aware of, because what's reactive about us many times when we are surrounded with people that we care about and they treat us a certain way is that inner child is the one that is showing up and reacting. How am I feeling today? I'm feeling okay. I have a little bit of a pressure headache. Um, it's like it's been, it comes and goes. So I actually made my matcha before coming here, so that sometimes the matcha helps me with my headache sometimes, and it gives me energy because I felt a little tired today. So the matcha gave me some energy, and I came here to film. The video is actually like 45 minutes long because I talk about what happened after my meditation experience. So it is basically the unraveling of all of the wounds that were inside me. That meditation experience put me up on this like mountain of bliss and wholeness for almost a year. But then after that year, everything started to like crash. And I explain a lot of the things that I went through and that, that I've gone through because I'm still in that unweaving of stuff. But that meditation experience led me here, and I want to just kind of like let you guys know that you're going to confront yourself when you have energy release. You're going to confront yourself and all these aspects of you, and it's going to be scary and you're going to feel a lot of fear because it's very hard to confront yourself, but it's part of becoming the best version of you, and it allows you to open and connect dots and understand why you're feeling this way. So it's going to come with symptoms, sensations, all sorts of things. I touch in my video too that I went to doctors many times to get checked because I thought there was something wrong with me, but it was always like nothing is wrong with you. So it was energy that was moving through me that was causing all of these crazy symptoms. And life force energy does that. It will open you up, and then it will show you all your wounds, and then you have to work with them so that you can find your who you are really, where you can no longer, like, you have to see yourself, because in order for you to change, you have to see yourself. And that life force energy brings all of that up. How do we heal our inner child who may be very hurt? So I think it's becoming aware of your inner child. Loving Dean, is becoming aware of how you're feeling when you react. Because if you're feeling the same way you felt as when you were a child, when you react, that is your inner child coming out. So you have to kind of like look into yourself and hold space and remind your inner child that it's okay now, because look where you are now, and you're able to give it the comfort and walk your inner child through the knowing that it's safe, that it's okay to feel that way, but it's also safe. Let's see. I'm trying to go through here. You are the best YouTuber. You're going to be famous. I don't want to be famous. um, I just like let me put it a perfect example. None of the things since I started doing YouTube and I started posting videos, I do not have a script, a plan, a strategy. I have not done anything of like what people tell you to do, like on YouTube to be successful. Like, I do not follow any strategy, script, nothing. Um, I'm just showing up as me, and I'm doing everything my way without me really having any idea. I'm just doing what I feel at the moment I should do and say and move along. And I post it. And I'm always going to do it that way. I, I, I don't believe there is an actual strategy to any of this. It's just how you show up. And that you are also in a place where your message and your story can be of service to other people, because that is what transforms and changes the world. So I think that we all have a perspective, a voice, and something to say and something to offer. And you don't have to follow a strategy. You just have to follow your own intuition, your own guidance, and just do it. So I don't know about the whole famous part because I'm just being me. My dream is to be financially free and be able to be comfortable where I can live independently and be able to like help other people if they need to. And I don't want anything crazy. I would love to live like in a bungalow in Colorado, for example. uh like a small little house that has like, because we stayed at a bungalow when we went, and it was beautiful. It was I think there was like a bedroom upstairs, and or two bedrooms upstairs, and the bottom was like the living room, the kitchen, and like a nice space with a nice like area for like gaming and stuff, something like that. And like I would like to have an area where I can film, and like my own little matcha station, and a place for a meditation that is sacred. Thank you, Mike, for the super thanks. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for always showing support. Yeah, it's always shining your light even when you're in your darkest moments. Because there are so many times that I have been in the darkest, deepest place that you can imagine. But I will still encourage someone else to find their passion, their light, and and give them all sorts of like encouragement to find their path, while I'm still struggling in mine. And I think it's because I always want to see the best in people, even when I have not seen it in myself. But then I realize that that's just a reflection of me, because I also want to see the best in me. And that's why I'm always so encouraging of like other people doing that, because it's something that I wanted to be doing for myself until I finally started doing it. And we have to be a light for everyone, because we're only here temporary, you know? And I think that we need to live our lives in the fullest way, and knowing how to navigate our pain and our wounds, and knowing how to move through life in a way that is balanced and regulated, where you're able to feel joy and feel the challenges and not spiral, and have moments of gratitude and joy where when you can feel the force of life, and not always feel like life is that life sucks, and like like there's nothing good for you. Because I've come to realize that life doesn't suck, you know? We make it suck with our stories and what we don't let go of. So life is not happening because it's just happening. Okay? It's happening for you. Life happens for you. And you are the one that is able to have the control and what you want to create in your life. When the reality is that we've been told that like life happens to us. No, it happens for you. And we are the ones that are we are the ones driving the steering wheel. We are the storytellers of our lives. We create our life. So we need to find our authenticity, our power, our truth, our story, and just show up as yourself and not be afraid anymore. Let go of the fear. That's like the most important part. So let go of the fear because we've been trapped in a fear state for centuries. Sometimes when it's dark, long lasts. Yeah, it does. Trust me, I have been there. I have been in moments that I have been in a very dark place for months. And there are times that I have woken up and I'm like, I feel like the universe hates me. So it's because when we're so dark, we can't see the light at the end of the tunnel because we keep experiencing all these things that keep us so miserable that we don't see that there's a light and that we are that light that we're seeking because it's inside you. I think I need I think I need to rewrite the story. Yeah, it is about rewriting your story and that is what I'm doing. I'm rewriting my story. And I want everyone to feel encouraged to rewrite your own story because we're not what we were told, you know? We are not what we were told. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to be probably live for like another 20 minutes. So I just wanted to come in here just to talk. Oh, my little family's here. Hi, guys. My ducks are over there hanging out. As you guys know, I love my little ducks. My ducks are the cutest thing ever, and they always come where I am. Every time I come here, they are always around me. It is the cutest and sweetest thing ever. People will see me and they look at me like, why are the ducks following you? It is funny. It is funny. You have no idea how much you help people with this. To be loving Dean, I never imagined. I never imagined. And if I'm honest, I never thought that my story or my perspective or my feelings about things would help people. I never imagined that at all. It is really something that it still feels surreal, and it just shows you that we all have such a story that is so important, and we can help people. So like your story can help someone else, and it is so beautiful to see. But all of our story has a it can serve someone else in some way. And believe it or not, it can make someone feel seen, and not only seen, but make them feel a sense of a feeling inside that makes them feel a little lighter and kind of removes some of that density. And that is a beautiful thing because you're helping someone in some way. Let me see, we have to be here for each other, and I appreciate you taking your time to help others. You're welcome, Living Dean. I never, like I said, I never imagined. It's, I know that this is something that I wanted to do for years. Like, I know that I wanted to help in some way. I just never knew what that way was until I started talking on YouTube and just showing my, just expressing my story and sharing my story, and not having a plan, not having a script, not having a plan, not having a strategy, not following what everyone else is doing. I am the leader of what I am creating, and this is how I am creating with no script. It's just me. I'm not really sure what's happening here, guys, but um, we get a lot of trolls on here many times, and I just have to kind of clear chats because it takes me away from like reading actual comments that are important. I- oh Lord, okay. I have to be the moderator on this and be moderating my own comments because it takes away from what I am trying to do and go through messages. Okay. Trolls will eventually realize it ain't worth coming in here. I know. They will, but it's just that the thing is that they keep talking and like they keep typing, and it makes me miss like other comments. So I have to be like moderating them and removing them because it doesn't help when they're just writing stuff that makes no sense. But yeah, I know that this live is like completely unplanned, and I think I have to download Google Chrome as my web browser in order for me to be able to schedule lives on my phone. So that is something that I might have to do at some point. I don't like to have so many browsers. Like I only use my Safari, but I don't want to have to download another browser. I know the live the other day was tough with them. Oh my god, yeah. The live the other day, I have no, the things that they were saying were out of hand. They were out of hand. I I could not believe half of the things that they were actually saying. Hello, Adriana Miu. I do see Adrian from Brazil. Hello to you in Brazil. Hi, Raj Khan. Where am I from? I am Cuban American. Thank you. As a matter of fact, this is Levi. I'm not sure if you guys have ever watched Attack on Titan, the anime, but this is Levi from Attack on Titan. And this is Rengoku from Demon Slayer. I also have Itachi from Naruto. Thank you, Raja Khan. I appreciate that you subscribed. Hello, Peter. You're from Canada. I see that Canada is very beautiful. I would like to see Canada one day. Have you watched My Hero Academia? No, I have not. I think I only watched one episode like about a year ago, but I've been watching so many other ones that it's so hard to catch up with. So I never continued My Hero. I do want to watch that the same way that I've been told so many times to watch, which was the One Piece, and I just feel like I can't go through that because it's so long, like so many episodes. I know Naruto's being into a live action movie, or I think it's a series. But to be honest, I'm not a fan much of a fan when they take an animation and turn it into live action. I'm not I'm not one big fan of that. Like I prefer like you leave it alone. But I know that there are people that are going to be introduced to Naruto in that way, so I guess it's cool. But like for example, I know that One Piece has a live action, and I still have not watched it. I mean, I've never watched the animation, but I would rather watch the animation before I watch the live action. I know it is. It is a very very long, and I've heard that it's worth it, but I cannot get. I just it's so long. I just haven't been able to. I got into Naruto about a year ago. I just finished the original. Yes, I love Naruto. I love Naruto. And I love how symbolic all of anime really is. It's I love the way that Japanese people tell stories. It's so fascinating to me. What about that one from Ju-on? Which one? I've never been to Japan. I have been wanting to go to Japan forever now. I just have not been able to financially. I mean, I have to move out of my house first before I go to Japan. But is in my bucket list. Japan is a place that I would love to visit, especially because I love Japanese culture. I love matcha, and they're very big on tea ceremonies and stuff. And I love teas, and I love animation. I love their animes. I love their stories, and I just love their culture. You love traveling. I would love to go to Thailand too. Behind Her Eyes is underrated. I need to check that out. I am Cuban American. The fact that you watch Naruto makes you even more awesome. Thank you. I love Naruto. I love Naruto. Um and I love the symbolism because it's in a quote unquote it has a lot of spiritual aspects to Naruto. Uh, I do like live action movies and shows. I do, but I feel like Western stories, they don't fully tell full stories. Like they're afraid of telling stories in a certain way. Like they hold back a lot. Now, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy watching movies and stuff. Like I love Marvel, I love Star Wars. Star Wars is like one of my favorites. Um, but ever since I've been watching anime, I prefer anime over a lot of movies and shows. But I do watch I do watch movies and shows that are not animated. Um but ever since I started watching anime, I prefer sometimes the story in the anime than watching a TV show or series. You would like the deeper meaning in One Piece. I know, I've been told that so many times. I've been told that so many times. I have a friend that he where I used to live, well, I basically kind of raised him since he was a child. And he is now 22 years old. Okay, and I knew him since he was like 4. And he's the one that got me into watching anime when let me see 5 years ago. He got me into watching anime. He started with Demon Slayer, and he pushed it on me so much that I was like, I'll watch one episode. He said, just watch one episode, and if you like it, then you can continue watching it. And I really liked it. So I kept watching Demon Slayer, and then from there I went on to Naruto. I knew that Naruto was a commitment, but I got hooked. I got so hooked. Or based off a true story movies so far from the truth, the Conjuring universe. The Conjuring universe, I'm not into those types of movies at all. I because I though the Conjuring universe to me has such a, I don't know, dark energy to me that doesn't make me feel comfortable, so I don't watch those things. The one movie that I did see that I really resonated in the wildest way, I felt like I was, in a way, I felt like I was the character. I had aspects of that character in the movie, was Disclosure Day. I I completely resonated and I saw myself in many aspects as the main character Emily. Um that I saw that movie twice in theater because it was like I felt like I was remembering something. Do I like Avatar the Last Airbender? I have not seen Avatar the Last Airbender. Do you like horror movies? I used to. I like some horror movies that do not have any religious base on it. Like, but I'm not a fan of horror movies. I don't tend to really watch horror movies. I stay away from horror movies. Like I would probably watch suspenseful movie that maybe has an aspect of horror, but when it comes to like religious horror and stuff like exorcism and all these negative things that they make you that they can scare you, I don't watch those things. Did you finish all of Naruto? Like even Naruto Shippuden? I watched all of Naruto. I did not watch Boruto. I did not watch Boruto. I love, yeah, me and nature have been one since the day that I was born. And I always go to nature. I always look towards forward and towards nature for everything since I was very little. And I connect to everything that is nature. Like right now, I was walking here and I find feathers everywhere. Like the universe leaves me feathers everywhere. Remember when Naruto was learning Sage Mode, he had to gather nature. Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love Naruto because of the reality aspect there is to it about energy. And it has a lot of spiritual aspects to Naruto. No, I am not married. I do not have a boyfriend, and I right now am only prioritizing myself, my growth, and the escape of my environment. But thank you, Jerry. I had an accident because of a girl. How did you have an accident because of a girl? I'm Cuban American. I was raised in New York, so I have a bit of an accent because I speak both Spanish and English. I'm 43 years old. I wish I had more friends like you in my friend group. Yeah, I can agree with you. I mean, I don't have friends. I only have one friend. Um, but yeah, it's very hard to find people that are in the same wavelength. I am doing this stream from a park. I always drive up to this park and I set up here. I have to like park and then I have to walk like half a mile to get here. No, I'm not in New York. I only have one friend that I can relate to on a spiritual level. Well, yeah, the same thing happens to me. Um, but I think what I'm learning about that is that there are you're going to have people around you that are going to be ready to be on the same level with you spiritually, or there are going to be people that are somewhat ready but not fully ready spiritually. So even though they can relate, they might not be able to move through that spiritual aspect. And I noticed that there are people who might you might seem that are ready spiritually, but they're actually really not. You have to kind of like, it's hard. It is hard because they might be open to some things, but some other things they think they're open, but they're not. Oh, nice, Ohio. Loving dream. You hope to find your soul tribe soon. Well, your soul tribe is right here. Your soul tribe is right here because we can always communicate, and you don't have to feel alone because even though we are on a screen, we can still connect, and we can still feel less alone because there are, we can all understand each other in a more expansive way. Also, a big hello from New Brunswick, Canada. Hello to Canada. I'll always thank you and love you. You touch and save lives. You have a time whenever you tell me that, I honestly, there are times that I don't even know what to say to you, and it makes me want to cry because I don't understand I don't understand how that is even possible. But it is very humbling. So thank you. I never imagined that I would ever have anyone say anything like that to me. I often feel like an alien because of how different I feel. Yeah, yeah. And it's okay to feel that way. It is totally okay. It is totally okay. But it's our uniqueness that brings us together. Hello to New Zealand. It's our uniqueness that brings us together. And we are all consciousness like experiencing human form so that we can learn to navigate and grow. And it might feel like we are alienated some way because we are not plugged directly into the source, even though we really are. We just we just don't remember that we are. How are you? My name is Mohammed from Iraq. Hello to Iraq. Yes, this seems to be accelerating. This maybe is because the frequency is rising. Yeah, the frequency is rising, and not just the frequency collectively, but also the frequency of the planet is rising, and a lot of it has to do with the sun. The sun is giving the Earth more energy and more changes, and every geomagnetic storm we have is an upgrade in Earth, like transcending and rising in frequency. So that's why a lot of things right now feel so disorienting because frequencies are kind of like staticky. Susie, you're a lovely woman. Everyone loves you. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. The accent threw me off. LOL, I thought you were for sure out of the US. Yeah, no. I'm in the US. I am in the US. Um, but I do have like Spanish and my English kind of together with the accents from Jersey, and I have like a whole combination of accent. So that's how I sound. But yeah, like I was saying, we are experiencing the a pivotal moment in the energetic conscious that is expanding and rising to a higher frequency. You also live in the USA. What part of the USA, Daniel? I'm gonna probably be wrapping my life now. Marshmallow. Oh, Iowa. This is a huge moment in the collective. Yes, it's huge. It is huge, and a lot of us can see that it's huge because we're seeing a shift in consciousness and in how we are showing up to the world. And I think that even myself, I am a part of that ascension because I have been able to break through the soil of like basically the pavement. I've been able to grow out of the pavement and still show up somehow in my pure authenticity. And I think that is also in relation to the expansion and rise of frequency, where it's asking us to show up as who we are. And it's asking us to show our light because it needs to be shown right now. We need to be grounded in our light and be a light for others. And then others have to be a light for others. And it's like a collective thing. So I think we are in this pivotal moment of transformation. Hello to Pennsylvania. Hello from Jersey Shore. Enjoy your vids. Thank you so much for enjoying my videos. I have posted it today. My new video is posted. If you guys have not seen it yet, I posted. It went public this morning, and it is the first time ever that I have I had a sponsor for my video, which was surreal, but it was nerve wracking. But it's a sponsored video. Hello to Canada, Thomas. No, Thomas, I don't see it the way you do. I think that everything is perspective. If you are waiting for the Civil War and the transforming of crisis in the country, that is what you're going to experience. But if you are wanting to see the world in a different way, you have to view it in a different way so that the world can move in that direction. Because we collectively are choosing the path where the world is going. If we change our perspective into a different vision, then that vision has to come to fruition. So where you place your attention is what creates. And if you're going to place your attention on crisis and civil war, then that is what you're going to bring. So if you pay your attention into the opposite and creating a world where there's peace and there is a balance, that is the world we're going to move towards. That's why everything is a collective conscious thing. We all have to collectively and consciously choose where we want the world to be. And if we're focusing on the bad, we're only going to get more bad. So it's up to us to choose what direction we want our world to lead towards. You have no idea, Mike. I tried several times to do that because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And it's I did it in my own way. Yes, where your attention goes, energy flows. So you have to give your attention to the things that you want to experience. No, but if you keep thinking that way, Thomas, then nothing will ever change because it won't change. We are in the precipice of a transformation globally and collectively. And if you're going to give your attention to all the negative aspects, that's all you're going to experience. And if you keep using the excuse of paying bills and all these other things, nothing is ever going to change. Things change when you change and the way that you see things change. And then things will follow. But if we're all going to be focusing on all of the negative things and all the scarcity and the things that we think that we have to keep doing in order to survive, then we're going to keep doing the same thing forever. And it's never going to change anything. So it is up to us to change the way that we are moving through life. We shouldn't focus on something we don't want to grow. Exactly. Because I know many of you have had anxiety, right? And you have the anxiety that all of a sudden you feel the anxiety come in. If you give attention to the anxiety, right, and you give attention to that feeling you're having, what are you doing? You are creating momentum to the anxiety. So what happens? It gets bigger and it gets bigger and it grows and it just completely swallows you up. Why? Because you gave it your attention, you gave it your energy. The same thing happens to anything that you look out externally. If you are paying attention to all of the crazy things happening in the world and you're giving it labels and meanings, you are giving it your attention, you're creating more of it because you're believing in all the things that you're seeing. And if you're going to believe in that, you're going to create a world where that exists. And then collectively, it's not helping because you need to shift your way of perceiving and understanding that what's happening is for you to choose the opposite. And if you're going to continue choosing the same, then it's never going to change. So we're giving momentum to the things that are negative. or that we believe is negative. That is not what I'm saying about giving up on life or anything like that. I'm saying that you got to change the way you think. I'm saying that you have to start to view life from a different direction and not from where it's at, because you are completely taken by the things that are happening in the world and believing that this is literally just we're at the precipice of like destruction. Sometimes destruction has to happen so that things can change. But you have to still focus on the positive outcome. You have to still look at the positive things and not give into and feed the negative things. Negative things are always going to happen, because if you look how we were, how the universe created itself, it came from a blast, an explosion. A lot of stars had to die in order for us to be here. A lot of things had to happen. Chaos is always going to exist, but we have the ability to give attention and give energy to those things. So if we want to give the attention to the chaos, we're going to create more chaos. So it's up to you to make the decision of how you want to view life and what you want life to be like. We are the stars. We definitely are. It's in our DNA, and I'm not making this up. Scientifically, we have star stuff in our DNA. We are not separate from it. And stay from pessimists and those who are discouraging. Exactly. You just need to kind of navigate yourself away from the things that you don't align with. And that is something very important that we all should do. If you don't align with the way things are happening and you don't align with certain people, you move away from those people. And not only that, when you change the way you think, all those people will just fall off your map. They fall off your radar. And it's something that we need to learn to do. No, Thomas, it's not about being ignorant. It's just about choosing what to give energy to. Exactly. There are some people, unfortunately, that are not going to be able to understand, and we have to be okay with that. There are people that, no matter to them, I'm speaking another language, and they don't understand that. And that's fine. That is perfectly fine. They choose to live how they want to perceive the world. They're going to experience the world in that way. But us that we want to see things in a different way, we will experience a different result than anyone who wants to continue to keep feeding the system. Can I dance like Michael Jackson? Actually, I can. I have Michael Jackson moves. I would dance like Michael Jackson since I was a child, because Michael Jackson was my favorite and is my favorite humanitarian in the world. No, Thomas, you see, you're not understanding. You have to align yourself with what you want to experience, with what you want the world to be like. You don't align with the things that you don't believe in and that you don't want to continue seeing and experiencing. You have to start to find the alignment in you with the things that you do want to see, and the things that you do want, people that you do want to be around with, and the way that you want to move through life. So you find your alignment. You find your alignment. And if you cannot find that because the cloudiness of what's happening in the world is clouding your vision, then maybe you have to do some inner work so you can break through that cloud and find a different perspective and a different way to view things. Everything that is happening in the world is happening for a purpose. It's not happening because, oh, the world wants total destruction or whatever you might want to call it. No, it's happening for a purpose. It's happening for you to realize that we have the choice in our hands to change things. And if we don't like something, we collectively can say, no, we don't like this and we want things to be a different way. And we can move towards that way. But it takes many of us to see that, not just one person. It takes many of us to want to change the direction of the world, where the world is heading. And sadly, in order for that to happen, crazy things have to happen, okay? And things that we don't like have to happen. But we don't have to give our attention to those things as deeply. We can know about them, be aware about them, but still decide to see the best in people and the best in the world versus seeing the ugliness. So it's all about where you put your attention to. I am part of the problem. That is your perspective, Thomas. That is the level of consciousness that you're at, and that has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with me. That is what you believe. That's your belief. That's all I can say. You can believe whatever you want. You don't know me as a person. You will not be able to understand me as a person because I am clearly not speaking your language. So find the people that you're meant to align with and that you can communicate whatever version of whatever you want to see in the world. That has obviously is not in alignment with me. I just want to say, yeah, we all can assume that, but that's fine. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. There is smoke here. Like there's a fire somewhere close because there is smoke creeping up here. I can smell the smoke. It's okay, Mike. People are entitled to their own belief and opinions, and he is actually giving me engagement, which is good for me. He doesn't want to see my perspective, or he doesn't understand what I'm saying. That's not up to me. He doesn't want to understand. That's fine. I'm not here to push my belief or how my authenticity on anybody. It is what it is. I stand in what I believe in, and that's it. If he's not in alignment with what I believe, he can literally just exit the chat. I am in no shape or form pushing you to believe something. If you cannot see what I'm saying, that's not up to me. That is your level of consciousness is not ready to understand that. Or your consciousness, because I don't want to even call it a level, your consciousness is not ready to understand that. And that's perfectly fine. Not everyone is meant to understand. Well, Thomas, let me tell you one thing. Um, if you seek to change the world and end the poverty and whatever you're calling, the change starts with you. And if you keep thinking that way, you ain't gonna change poverty or anything. So change your thoughts and you change your life. It takes one person to want to change the world, okay? And that one person can ripple into the collective, and the people are gonna want to do the same too, because it takes one person. Okay, it takes one person. And in order to change the world, you gotta change yourself. And I'm changing myself because I want a better world. Not for me, not just for me, but for everyone, because we all deserve a better world. And the change starts with you, Thomas. You're just self projecting yourself onto me, which is fine. Absolutely right, Loving Dean. Absolutely right, because change starts with us. I think I'm gonna have to go soon because there is a fire and it's getting smoky here. I don't know if you can tell, like in the background, but it smells like burned. Be the change you want to see. If you want to see more love in the world, you must be more love. Yeah. If you want to see more love, you have to be more love. If you want to see more, hi, my babies. You guys are so tiny. If you want to experience love, you got to be love. If you want to create change, you have to be the change. It's you. It all starts with you at the end of the day, not somebody from the outside. Because for some reason, I think many people believe that, oh, somehow someone from the outside magic is going to come in and step in and change the world and bring the world to peace. No, it's not like that. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We just have not realized that yet. We keep giving our power away to the outside external source when the power is within us. Exactly. Everything comes with your belief. If you believe that you are abundant, you're going to be abundant. If you believe whatever you believe, whatever you believe, like, we get told what to believe of ourselves by our conditioning and our programming, okay? And most of us believe that we're not even worth of anything, okay? We're not worth of the abundance. We're not worth of living a life that is full and fulfilling. We don't believe in those things. Why? Because we were taught not to believe those things. So once you start to change your beliefs and the way that you think and the way that you move in life, you become it. You become whatever you believe. Yes, your belief shapes your reality and experience, and it creates the world that you live in. I mean, we can see how far people's beliefs have gotten us because everyone's waiting for someone on the outside to come save us. And there's nobody coming. There is nobody coming. Okay, I am going to be ending the live now. I want to thank everyone that has been here, that has shared their perspectives, opinions, and all these things. And I'm going to get going because it is smoky here. It is getting smoky here and it smells like burnt, and I don't want to keep inhaling smoke. So thank you so much for being here, for having this conversation, for allowing me to express myself in my pure authenticity and my perspectives of things. And remember that change starts with you. It's not coming from the outside. Nobody's coming outside. Nobody's going to come and change anything. The change is you. You are the ones that have to change the world. I am the one that has to start changing the world, the way that I see the world and the way that I move in life. Change starts with me as it starts with you. So thank you so much for being here. I will be seeing you really soon. I do have a new video that went up this morning. If you have not watched it yet, you can go watch it. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. I think you know that because I always say this, but I say it again. And yeah, I will see you soon. Much love to all of you. And take care, Mike. And take care, Loving Dean. Be careful, Susie. Thank you. And infinite peace and love. Yes, infinite peace and love for everyone. Okay, for everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you soon.